that our government cannot be allowed to control what we do and do not say on television.
With the suspensions of late-night shows being in the news as of late, temporary or not, a number of other talk shows could come under fire for similar or much bolder outspoken moments.
The network will be ending The Late Show in May.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking back at scandalous late show segments that would have likely triggered censorship or outright cancellation had they occurred amidst this uproarious climate.
He's got no talent. Fallon has no talent. Kimmel has no talent. They're next. They're going to be going. I hear they're going to be going.
73-year-old beef, The Daily Show. In 2021, during Trevor Noah's tenure at The Daily Show, he broached the topic of the Israel-Palestine conflict. Before even beginning the segment, Noah acknowledged the weight of the subject matter.
Israel versus Palestine. And I know that even saying that sentence means I'm losing followers online and I'm on the verge of being blocked on all social media and in life.
And his assessment was correct. Both sides immediately came down on him, urging him to take a firm stance, or at least not to downplay the severity of the events.
And I know that this is contentious. And I know that people are going to hate me for this.
Effectively, Noah was playing with loaded dynamite when he referred to the war as a, quote, beef.
But Israel versus Palestine is a 73-year-old beef that has stumped everybody.
And tried to highlight how both countries are culpable.
If you start from Israel fired rockets into Gaza, well then Israel is the bad guy because they're bombing Gaza. But then you take a step back in time, you go, well, Hamas fired rockets at Israel. Well then Hamas is the bad guy.
Rather than hearing his perspective, most only heard the perceived fallacies in his arguments.
I know someone's going to watch this and go like, oh, you're comparing Palestinians to children. No, I'm not doing that. I'm telling a story about myself. Honestly, I am.
And so we can only imagine this sort of conversation today could have resulted in his show being suspended for, quote, misinformation. Far-right guest, Real Time with Bill Maher. Bill Maher is no stranger to controversy, and neither is guest Milo Yiannopoulos.
Always making excuses? No. I mean, not as bad as women, but no, I don't hire gays.
But you know that's not, I mean...
Oh, there we go.
In 2017, Maher had the political provocateur on his show to grill him on a number of subjects. Instead, he ended up rationalizing and even affirming some of Milo's beliefs.
Women and girls should be protected from having men who are confused about their sexual identities in their bathrooms.
That's not unreasonable.
That person who was...
Meanwhile, a number of panelists clashed hard with the right-wing commentator.
The argument is that these people are stupid. You didn't hear a word this man said early in this segment because he can talk circles around your pathetic, douchey little ass for me.
This was another case of you just can't win. Maher received negative reactions from both sides of the political spectrum, for both platforming and finding common ground with someone the left deems alt-right, and for criticizing the man's conservative viewpoints after.
You're a little broken, and you're very wrong about certain things.
In fact, the term Maher used to describe Milo was, quote, emotionally needy Ann Coulter wannabe. Misdiagnosis, Chelsea. During the pilot of a new segment, Chelsea Handler attempted to diagnose what she perceived to be wrong with Donald Trump.
Amnesia, characterized by the inability to recall memories. Like that time he forgot which country he bombed.
During the biting report, she poked fun at his weight.
Put them all together and this is what you get.
Joked about a sexual relationship with Mike Pence.
He screwed so many guys that Mike Pence is, well, jealous.
Compared him to a monkey.
And quite frankly, it's amazing I didn't see it before with my keen scientific eye.
Referred to Putin as his alpha.
They're able to temporarily behave themselves if the alpha male is present.
And even came for his kids.
His whole tribe is hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
This aired back in 2017, but based on Trump's outrage over the 2025 South Park scene that portrayed him sleeping with Satan.
Come on, you don't want me to bomb you like I did Iraq. I thought you just bombed Iran. Iraq, what the hell's the difference? Relax, guy.
It's hard to imagine this would have gone over well for Chelsea today. Gitmo, The Daily Show. While running a 2008 segment about the trial of several 9/11 hijackers, Jon Stewart brought out a puppet to demonstrate the controversy surrounding Guantanamo Bay. Only this character, named Gitmo, was just Elmo with a beard designed to look like a prisoner of war.
Well, sounds like it's time for you to go back, Gitmo, to your cell.
No!
Stewart utilized Gitmo to comment on the terrible conditions at the detention camp and highlight the Obama administration's failed promise to shut it down. In order to make his point, he both waterboards Gitmo and feeds him to a dog. However, Stewart also name-drops Big Bird.
Big Bird works for the Mossad! He's a spy!
The use of children's cartoon characters to illustrate the torture of accused terrorists could have easily spelled trouble for the host had this aired today.
Guantanamo, also known as Gitmo, happens to be the name of the least popular Sesame Street Muppet ever.
The Walk-Off, The Tonight Show. It's ironic that we're talking about censorship of media now, because back in 1960s America, it was still very difficult to get away with the discussion of certain subject matters. Tonight Show host Jack Parr was aggravated that the network had censored one of his jokes in a prior broadcast.
NBC is a little confused as to which clown cut that out of the show last night. They're not quite sure who did it. Those who saw it today, some people said they were quite surprised, and the whole thing has gotten out of hand.
To stick it to them, he announced his departure and exited the stage at the top of the next taping.
Jack, you know what I said to you.
Ultimately, a deal was reached and he returned. However, it's unlikely such an anti-censorship stunt would have been received with an olive branch today.
I believe my last words were that there must be a better way of making a living than this. Well, I have looked.
Samantha Bee versus Ivanka Trump. Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. Now, Samantha Bee is already off the air, but if Full Frontal was still on today, this segment would have likely resulted in more calamity than a simple apology from Bee.
I want this show to be challenging and I want it to be honest, but I never intended it to hurt anyone.
Although the host had always been incredibly critical of the Trump administration, her 2018 attack on Ivanka crossed a number of lines. Amidst chatter about Trump's controversial immigration policies, Bee grew especially weary of Ivanka's apathy.
You know, Ivanka, that's a beautiful photo of you and your child, but let me just say, one mother to another, do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless c***. He listens to you.
While the charged monologue was condemned by many,
it's a C word, incredibly offensive.
It was also admired by some.
Do you think she should be pulled off the air for it?
I don't. I just think that, she's passionate.
The reaction prompted Bee to apologize in a televised segment.
I am. I'm really sorry that I said that word, but you know what? Civility is just nice words. Maybe we should all worry a little bit more about the niceness of our actions.
Though in this modern era of censorship, Bee's tirade likely would have meant that she would no longer have a show to apologize on.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Epstein Files, Late Night with Seth Meyers. After Jimmy Kimmel's suspension, Seth Meyers spoke out in defense of his fellow Late Show host.
Trump promised to end government censorship and bring back free speech, and he's doing the opposite. And it has experts worried that we're rapidly devolving into a oppressive autocracy in the style of Russia or Hungary, much faster than anyone could have predicted.
Known for his sharp political analysis in Closer Look, Meyers has long harped on Trump's leadership and controversies.
He said nicer things about a sex trafficker and a terrorist than his own supporters. Of course, he just thinks they're stupid because they don't have degrees in
nuclear, chemical, and math.
His dissection of the Epstein scandal, and Trump's purported involvement, even drew ire from the president.
All this was right there in plain sight, and MAGA brushed it off. Trump called Epstein a terrific guy, and Epstein himself said Trump was his closest friend for 10 years.
On Truth Social, Trump called on NBC to cancel Meyers and Jimmy Fallon, referring to them as, quote, two total losers. This only lit Meyers' fuse, who fired back at these attacks on free speech.
The Trump administration's crackdown on free speech has been so shocking and so chilling that prominent voices from across society, from Hollywood to former presidents, have spoken out and promised to investigate.
What makes this entry fascinating is that this is happening today. With live rounds being exchanged back and forth, the battle between politicians, billionaire media conglomerates, and late-night talk show hosts only seems to be escalating.
And we must all stand up for the principles of free expression. There's a reason free speech is in the very First Amendment. It stands above all others. You might even say it's
the ultimate.
Have you been keeping up with the updates on the Jimmy Kimmel suspension scandal? Comment below.